WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. The bag is packed with the sticks, the drinks are cold, and the scorecard's ready to go. Time to hit the links.
You dove into the pond, and that was on hole number 11. Had a hole 7 holes
I don't really
to go.
think about my pants being soaked. Like, I don't find that to be super uncomfortable. Like,
but it's just like it
my shoes being really wet.
Oh, yeah.
is a problem. But my pants don't really bother me. I don't know. I wear tight pants to begin with.
This is On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips.
I think it has to be as well. I don't know if it necessarily is inevitable, because it seems like there are people on both sides that want it to happen, and then there are people on both sides that don't want it to happen.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Alongside Bally Sports' Stephen Watson, here's Gabe Neitzel.
The Canadian Open, somehow, someway, it always delivers, and honestly, we talked a little bit about this last week, usually something off the course happened. Now, I guess technically it did this year, because we had the Scottie Scheffler all charges being dropped announcement happening in the run-up, so I guess that streak is alive. But yet last year we also had probably the greatest playoff on the PGA Tour, with a 72-foot eagle putt being made during a playoff. And the golf this year ended up being kind of fun at the Canadian Open as well, with Robert McIntyre ultimately walking away victorious. But there were also a couple of fun stories dealing with caddies.
Yeah.
And the first one we begin with, I don't know how many people know this, but Fluff Cowan, who's been a PGA Tour caddy forever. If you don't know who we're talking about, if you Google the name, you're going to recognize him. He's an older gentleman, has a giant mustache.
I mean, very Raleigh Fingers-like mustache.
Yes.
Bernie Brewer-like mustache. You can't miss him on the golf course.
You've seen him before. Caddied for Tiger, was Tiger's first caddy. Again, has been on a lot of bags, and now is on the bag of CT Pan. Well, again, if I'm saying he was, and he was a veteran when he first caddied for Tiger, when Tiger won the Masters in 1997. So, Fluff is up there in age, and unfortunately could not finish one of the rounds. So a fan had to carry CT Pan's bag for the rest of the round, which got you thinking to ask this question.
It's our Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All pick of the week, Gabe. Who on the PGA Tour would you want to caddy for?
So first and foremost, I think I would make a tremendous caddy. I think I would be a terrific caddy. If I could be on tour, I don't think it'd be as a player, it'd be as a caddy. I think I'd be a tremendous caddy. So
why is that?
I don't know. I just always have had that feeling that I'd be a really good caddy.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Don't you think you'd be a good caddy? I think I can match the vibe. Whatever vibe you need from me, I can provide that.
Because you're really nice? I'm
well,
curious.
No, whatever vibe.
You love golf. You love talking about golf.
I do, but I feel like if you need me to be quiet, I can be quiet. If you want to have the conversation, we can have the conversation. If you want me to be out of the way, if you want me to be involved, I feel like I can do it all. I feel like I'm a chameleon when it comes to being a caddy.
Has this golf show turned into your resume for CT Pan for the next tournament?
I was just hoping that Steve P saw that Aaron Hills is listening. He's going to give me a shot out there one of these days.
Yeah, you can caddy for me whenever you want, Gabe Neitzel.
Oh man, let me tell you something, Stephen. If I was your caddy, you'd become dangerous. I just feel like that. I feel that you would just be a dangerous player.
My story and topic idea has just gone sideways, because now I want to know, if you're going to caddy for me, how would you make me better?
Oh, it's just we don't have enough time, Stephen, to go into how I would make you better.
Now, so you're saying I'm far away?
No, I don't think you're far away at all. I just think I could get you over the hump.
Go on.
If I'm on your bag.
You have my attention.
If I'm on your bag, I feel like I'm going to be able to, because everybody has those loose shots throughout the course of a round that you wish you had back.
Yeah.
I feel like I would do a pretty good job. I feel, over all these years we've known each other, I feel like I'd be able to get you locked in before every shot.
I need a little tough love here, Gabe. Give it to me.
No, what do you want me to say?
Anything that you can say to me right now, I have not said in my own head. So go on.
I know, but you see, so sometimes I think, and this was, I don't think it was a coincidence that Robert McIntyre won his first PGA Tour event, especially after talking about being homesick during a PGA Tour event earlier this year, that his dad was on the bag.
You saying you're like my brother?
I think that I'm your golfing brother. Yes.
We're family.
Yeah, we are. Like I feel like I could shepherd you around, and we would be able to. I would boost you with so much confidence before every shot too. Like you'd be feeling good standing over every shot. There'd be zero question.
I think we need to caddy for each other 9 holes and see if we lift each other up.
All right,
that's a new segment.
This.
We'll do that for an upcoming show. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
we'll get that done. But to answer your actual question that you wanted to talk about,
which PGA Tour player would you most like to caddy for, and why?
I mean, this is easy. This is the easiest question I think we've ever asked here.
I think I know who you're going to say, because it's going to be the least surprising answer of all time.
Correct.
For longtime listeners here of On the Tee. You want the Jordan Spieth experience firsthand.
100%. Give me that loop. Michael Greller, take a seat. I got you for 18 holes.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, no, but how thrilling would it be? I mean, what do you Scotty Chef? Nice shot, Scotty.
No,
nice
Scotty's
shot,
not even in my top 20 because it's just too boring.
That's what I'm saying. And that's no shot on Scotty. Like, he's good enough. Like,
super nice guy. Just probably too much religious talk for me.
Sure.
Hey, if that floats your boat, go for it. Just not my cup of tea.
Look, Jordan Spieth is a different type of religion, my friend.
Yeah, well, that's on. He'll take you on a roller coaster ride for sure.
So I just try to.
I don't know. I don't know if you have like the emotional highs and lows. You're too nice of a guy for Jordan. I feel like you got to keep him honest.
Well, so that's where I feel I would honestly struggle the most, trying to talk him out of something dumb he's trying to do.
Because if I'm Jordan and I just hit my drive way right, and you're like, you got this, Jordan. I don't think he's going to respond well to that. I think the reason he works so well with Greller is because Greller goes, that was a terrible shot.
Well, him and Greller have that relationship where, again, I got to imagine, because Spieth has been out there for over a decade at this point, right? Like, he's been on the PGA, which is crazy to think about, that he's like one of these wily vets now on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Because he still seems like he's so young. But the relationship that he has with Greller goes on for so long, they can just be brutally honest with each other, and the relationship is going to be fine. I think that's why they work together. But yeah, you need to be able to tell Jordan, hey, this is a really dumb idea. We're not going to do this. And I don't know if I have that.
That's what I think makes this discussion tough, is because I'm talking about Greller goes down. Spieth is mid-round.
Yeah.
And you slide under those ropes.
Yeah.
You think he'll handle it well with you?
I don't know, but I want to be there for the experience. I want to be along for the ride.
I picture you not even saying a word. And you just handing him clubs, and that's like the best front row seat in all of sports.
But I do want to have...
He's just going to talk to himself anyway.
Oh, he's going to talk out loud. Like, I may chime in every once in a while. But, yeah, I mean, Jordan Spieth is the number one on my list. Whoever number 2 is, there's just going to be a gap.
1 through 18, that's a great pick, because I think you're going to get it all.
Yeah. You're going to get the highs, you're going to get the lows, you're going to get him talking to himself. Yeah, I can't imagine.
But you're going to be mic'd up
thrilling.
too, because the cameras.
100%.
And you're prepared for that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like, Spieth is probably going to embarrass me at some point, because I may try to, hey Jordan, maybe we shouldn't have. What the hell do you know? Shut up and carry the bag. Okay, yes sir, Mr. Spieth. Yes, sir.
Go get that. How fun would that be if he dropped a go get that on you, like he did Greller?
I don't think you would see anybody move faster to get that ball out of the cup. I'd be pumped.
Yes, I love you, Jordan. I got it. Whatever you want.
Be so excited. Who would your pick be? Someone goes, Caddie goes down, you're sliding in under the ropes. Obviously, because I think that Scotty would be the easiest job.
Yeah. But
because
most boring.
Yes.
Like, there's no fun in that.
Yeah.
I thought long and hard about this as somebody who presented the topic. I think a year ago I would have said Rory, because I just love watching him swing a golf club, and I would just be oohing and eyeing over every time he hit the golf ball. But I think he's kind of boring on the course. I don't think he has as much charisma on the course as he does off of it, which is good. He's a warrior. He locks in. I think the perfect balance of fun and locked in is Max Homa.
Okay.
And I feel like Max would be an enjoyable walk on the golf course, enough small talk to take his mind off of his upcoming shot, joke around, be buddies, even though we probably aren't for that 18 holes. In my mind, we will be.
Yeah.
So I'll keep it light. We'll have a good conversation. And then I know that he has that next gear. I saw it at the Ryder Cup. I know that when he locks in, I can be that person alongside to help him lock into every shot, get him his numbers. And more than anything, I think the balance of fun and serious with Max is unmatched by any golfer right now.
I think that's the thing that's most underrated if we're talking about Max is what type of competitor he is.
Yeah.
Because everyone has seen the fun side, right? Him calling in to No Laying Up podcast, doing the Barstool, foreplay podcast, and showing that personality, social media, roast my swing, all those things. And they're familiar with the story of, he came back. Well, kind of like Steve Stricker, the only way you come back from some of the things that Max Homa went through, right? It's by being a dog. It's by being one hell of a competitor.
Yeah. And
again, I feel like the fun, personality side kind of masks it for Max. For Steve, for Strick, he's like the nicest guy ever, and that kind of masks the competitiveness. But Homa was a really good amateur. He was a damn good college player. And the only way you accomplish the things that he accomplished in his amateur career, and again, to hit the lows that he did, is to be one of the most competitive people out there. That's the only way you survive what Max Homa went through. And I think that would be fun to see kind of up close and personal, somebody who's shown that personality and then can also show that competitiveness. Because I think a lot of times when we think of competitor on the PGA Tour, your mind goes to one place. That goes to Tiger.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Tiger's kind of a Richard, right? Like he's a little more pointed.
Very Scotty-like in that wouldn't be an enjoyable walk.
Very, very protective, very locked in, can't really float between the two areas. Now, Tiger has certainly lightened up as he's gotten older, but when you're thinking Tiger in his prime, it's more pointed than I would say Max is. But Max is an incredible competitor, and I would agree. I think that would be a fun one to do as well.
Yeah, and I also wouldn't mind, taking a shot with his clubs and having him roast my swing because he does it so well for so many people. I'd love to hear him just lay into me, give it to me honestly, because I don't think you can, Gabe.
Look,
I think you're too nice to me.
I'm looking to build you up, man. We're shooting under par in the 9 holes that I caddy for you. That's a guarantee.
Okay,
we're going under par in those 9 holes.
Yeah, sign me up.
I can't.
You tell me where.
Wait. Yeah, I can't. Well, I mean, I'm assuming we're going to do it.
I'm going to put like 300 golf balls in my bag.
I'm
going to
put the
bring
rain
like
gear, but we know you don't have any.
2 extra jackets just to really make you earn this 9-hole walk.
Hey, no, it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be pleasurable. I cannot wait. We have to make sure we cash this in soon.
Yeah,
we got to find a day and we got to pick it.
Love it.
So we'll definitely do that. There's still more caddy stories that came out. Mentioned Robert McIntyre. We're going to discuss that. A lot of fun things to get into. Longest day in golf. Plus, I had a little interesting thing happen to me on the golf course yesterday during a WSGA qualifier. We'll do all of that coming up here on the tee, which is presented by our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. Right now, we are headed to Scotland. That's right, Scotland. On the tee in October. If you want to come, you're more than welcome, more than invited. It's the ultimate trip, especially if you've been looking to go with some buddies. Grab a friend. Come along with us. We've got a big group going in October. All you need to do is text GOLF, GOLF, for more information. You can see the entire itinerary that we have. You can see the cost of what it is, and even make your down payment to reserve your spot to golf with On the Tee and our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips in Scotland coming up in October. Again, text GOLF for Wisconsin Golf Trips. Trip to Scotland.
Back to the course and On the Tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. Join myself and Stephen Watson every Tuesday night at 6 here on 94.5 ESPN for On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Each and every Tuesday, Stephen and I are going to give you the latest in Wisconsin golf, sprinkle in some of the latest in our own golf games, plus talk about professional golf. Get your golf fix each and every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips, right here on 94.5 ESPN, or listen back to the show with Wisconsin On Demand.
The Volrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Volrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do, and when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
What do you get when you combine grilled to order deliciousness with only the finest Wisconsin cheeses? Cousin Sub's new Wisconsin cheese steaks, featuring either steak or chicken, bacon, cheddar cheese, sauteed onions, and their new Cheddar Supreme cheese sauce. It's a match made in dairy heaven. And the decadence doesn't stop there. Pair your Wisconsin cheesesteak with their new Orange Dream Shake. All are available for a limited time only. Order in store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
For the ultimate sports betting experience, get in the game at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Unleash your inner champion with dozens of betting kiosks, a VIP deck, high-end bar, first-class restaurant, broadcast booth, a 2,000 square foot video wall, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise, 24/7. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Visit the website for more. Must be 21 years old. All bets must be made on site.
You're listening to On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
So the other wild thing with caddies this week was the fact that Robert McIntyre has been trying to figure out who to caddy for him. And his dad stepped up and was on the bag in the Canadian Open for his first ever PGA Tour victory. His dad is somebody who is a part of a maintenance team at a golf course over in Scotland, not a caddy by trade. But, you know, Robert asked him to do it, showed up in Canada, and he was able to pull it off. So that kind of juxtaposes this one of two things. If you were a player, who would you rather have, a family member, or would you rather have the random fan that CT Pan ended up with on his bag after we just talked about after Fluff went down?
Well, it depends on how you feel about your family, Gabe.
Well, but I can see how having that family member, and for Robert McIntyre, it absolutely worked out because I think it put him at ease because he, again, as we mentioned, he's been homesick. Like he's talked about that, and life on tour can be hard, especially when you're trying to go about it yourself, especially when you're a younger player. I think we've seen that with some other tour players in the past where it's just tough because you're kind of, solo. And we've seen, somebody like Tony Finau as, documented in Full Swing, where a lot of his family sometimes comes with him, so he doesn't have that loneliness. And when you're a younger guy like Robert McIntyre, you don't have a wife and kids, and he mentioned his girlfriend a lot in his victory speech. But sometimes even then having that family member there, it can put you at ease for Robert McIntyre. But if you're someone like, let's say, Justin Thomas, seems like his dad has been around quite a bit. Like, I feel. Again, I'm not trying to project anything on JT, but I'm just saying some family relationships, even though you love your parents, like that might put extra pressure on you if they end up on your back.
Yeah, I mean, his dad's a PGA professional. Mm-hmm. It's a different relationship than most people have with their parents. I would say for me personally, I would love the idea of my mom or dad caddying for me. I think they're both in love with the game. My dad got me into the game, just like my grandfather got me into the game as well. I think that we play enough golf together throughout the year. He's always my guest for our member guest every year. We're starting that tradition annually, and we don't always play the best golf together, but we are both very aware of how special it is to be able to loop together. And I think that ultimately at the end of the day means more than what your score is. So for me, I would always go with Pops or my mom, who I think would be a great caddy for me. She doesn't exactly have the golf background that my dad has, but she probably plays more golf than anybody in our family now at this point, because she has turned into quite a golf sicko, which we all love. And
Wait.
Yeah.
Can we park there for a second?
My mom's on a bender in
your
come
mom
summertime.
Is playing the most golf of anyone in your family right now?
Yeah, I would say she probably plays 3 rounds a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible. So, again, I know that with your family, golf has been, and we've talked about that, how that can help be a through line with the relationship within your family and how important that's been. You mentioned your dad being your guest at Member Guest. I mean, if your mom's playing that much, though, have you thought about swapping out mom for dad this year?
Well, let me tell you, if I'm playing an event alongside of a parent, love you, Dad, but I'm taking mom's strokes.
Especially if she's playing that much.
My dad, he's getting a little older. The ball's going a little less and less every time. Back's starting to hurt. That's actually maybe if we're going really looking into the caddying situation, I wonder if Pops can hold up for a 72-hole loop.
Sure.
But no, my mom has she caught the bug. She didn't start playing golf till she was 50.
Okay.
And now, over the last 15-plus years, she has fell in love with the game, and she plays with all of her lady friends all throughout the week, and she probably loops more rounds a year than I do.
I was about to say, I don't think you're at 3 times a week.
No, certainly not. Not with kids. But I'm about 1 a week.
Okay.
And she definitely probably triples my loops per calendar year.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for your mom that she's getting in that much golf.
And she's traveled all over the world for it. I mean, her and my mom, that's their vacation now. Golf is the center and focal point of all of their vacations now. And once my dad retires, it's going to be more so that. So, it's cool. I think we would have a lot of fun together on the bag. I don't know if it would result in the best golf for me, but I'd rather the odds of how I'd play with mom and dad versus some rando going under the cable or the whatever barrier that might be preventing them from going on the golf course would be.
I'm the same way. Like, again, if some random person's carrying my bag, and I've done that a couple of times. I think Brown Deer's kind of gotten away with it. I don't know if they've had one out there since COVID where they kind of had some sort of caddy program, where a kid can take out your bag and you try to chat with them a little bit. But so last year and then this year, I have had my parents. So last year, my mom caddied for me for a WSGA State Am qualifier. And this year, my dad is going to. My dad couldn't do it last year. He was kind of bummed. My mom stepped in. And even though my mom's more of the golfer than my dad, it was just so much fun. Like, for me, especially playing in those WSGA qualifiers, they can be long rounds. They can be tense rounds because it's, a truly competitive round. Because you're hitting 18 cups.
Yeah.
You got to finish everything out. It's a real round of golf versus, there's some pressure if you're throwing a couple of bucks down with your buddies, but it's still more informal than that can be. And it's just nice to have somebody there to talk to, not even just necessarily about the golf, just kind of keep everything level and have fun as you're trying to do this, hyper competitive thing of trying to make a Wisconsin State amateur. So I am really looking forward to, in about 3 weeks here, my dad's going to be coming down to Milwaukee, State Am qualifiers down at Oakwood, and we're just going to have a blast, man. Like, yeah. I hope we qualify, and then I have to force him to take more time off, so then he caddies for me at Merrill. But, I mean, he's not going to be, giving me yardages. I'll probably shoot all that. He's just going to be carrying the bag, and it's just more emotional support. I kind of feel like the way it was for Robert McIntyre this week. I don't think his dad was giving him the yardages. I don't think his dad was telling him, hey, hit a knockdown 7-iron here, right? But I think his dad was there just as kind of this emotional support. And then that became such a driving force for him. And he talked about it on CBS after the round about how he's walking up 18 thinking, I want to win this for my dad. And that's the way where my parents will play golf. My mom doesn't have the golf bug like your mom has apparently caught in retirement quite yet. But it would be nice to have, it's nice to have them on the bag and enjoy the walk. And it kind of takes some of the edge off of what can be a very heavy and competitive round.
I think we see that with the Stricker family here in Wisconsin more than maybe any other family in golf. How close they are because of this game and how they continue to get closer because they caddy for each other, right? It's not all just they rotate caddying for Steve. Steve caddies for his two girls. He's even, I think caddied for Nikki, who's started to play in some WSGA events here in the state when they're not traveling together. So that type
Which good for her because,
yeah.
It does get talked about, from time to time, but she was a damn good player herself.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
The fact that she gets to play in some of these WSGA events is awesome.
And it is the week of AmFam, too. So, shout out to them, the great work that they continue to do in that Madison area to raise money, for American Family Insurance and the Children's Hospital there. They've done an incredible job. And, definitely, I think Wisconsin's family of golf is the Strickers, and they've meant so much to the state of Wisconsin. And I love watching them love each other around, and really golf being the foundation for their love for each other. It's a really cool story always, every year this time of year.
Well, yeah, because we've seen both of their girls serve as caddies at different times. I think it was Bobby. She
caddied for Mario. Yeah.
Tiziani, which would be their uncle, over there. Again, the Tizianis and Strickers, yes, the first family of golf in the state of Wisconsin, especially in that Madison area, putting all that money into TPC Wisconsin, where the event is eventually going to end up here, that Stricker has put together. And I think that we always have to be forever grateful to that Stricker family, because next year we have the U.S. Women's Open. After that, I don't know when the LPGA is going to come back. I have no idea if the PGA is going to come back. We used to have, at that point, it was I'm forgetting what used to Symetra Tour, now Epson Tour. Like, we haven't ever, as far as I know, a Corn Ferry Tour event. Like, I don't know when those tours are coming back to Wisconsin.
Well, we're going to have some events up at Sand Valley. USGA loves the state of Wisconsin, if you haven't learned recently. So there will be some more, but not at that scale.
Yeah, not to a men's, women's highest level of professional golf. So the fact that we do have the senior event, making its way, and I mean, my guess is that if Tiger does indeed decide he wants to play, that's the biggest event on the senior circuit, other than the majors that they play, the AmFam Championship. So maybe, again, these boys with Strick, if Strick can convince him to come, maybe once T-Grade turns 50, like, that event can really blow up.
I just don't see Tiger playing in a Champions Tour event.
He's kind of hinted at it a little bit, though.
Maybe
there have been a couple of times
get
where
that mojo back,
where he's talked about having the ability to drive a cart out there. It seems like he's okay having a cart on the senior tour versus having it on the regular tour.
Can Tiger beat Stricker right now?
If Tiger can drive. If Tiger is in a cart, then I think yes. Because that's what it comes down to for him. It just, we've seen him be able to make every swing that he can. Like, the fact that he continues to make the cut at Augusta tells you that he has the game in there. But then you see, by the time Saturday and Sunday roll around, it's like, oh man, he's just tired. His body can't take that much walking.
Champions Tour is just 54 holes.
Yeah, it's 3 rounds. He gets a cart.
It was live before it was cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he'll actually do it. All I know is that Tiger has hinted at the possibility of maybe potentially doing it.
Selfishly, for two guys living in the state of Wisconsin who could go cover that tournament and cover Big Cat in Wisconsin, Tiger.
Just
give it a shot at 50.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to do it any more than one time. You started your professional career here. Why not start your senior tour career in the state of Wisconsin?
Now we're talking good storytelling, Gabe.
Just kind of bring everything together. It's not that tough, Tiger. You know how much we do love, we mentioned Erin Hills, home of the 80th U.S. Women's Open, and we are about a year away from that being right here in Wisconsin. So make sure you check out for your tickets, or maybe you just want to get out and check out the course. ErinHills.com is how you do that. It's one of the top public courses in the country. Of course, you know how much Steven and I love it. Check it out, ErinHills.com.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls, and right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Golfers, listen up. It's Gabe Neitzel from On the Tee, and we are heading to Scotland with our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. That's right, Scotland. You can join myself and Stephen Watson as we head overseas to play some of the best courses in the world. This package includes green fees, lodging, transportation, and more. But there are only a limited amount of spots available, so sign up now. For information on the trip and a link for paying, you can text GOLF right now to the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. That's GOLF to 800-990-3776.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. So we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Get the best of both worlds when you visit X Golf at American Family Field. Hi, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and On the Tee. I love golf. I love baseball. And if you're like me, Brewers game days are the best when they're at X Golf. Book a simulator, bring a group, enjoy the great food and beverage options, and get a unique view of the game. Right now, you can head to brewers.com/tickets and get both sim time and game tickets. Plus, hit a hole-in-one at X Golf and Fan Field any day of the year, and you and a buddy can take a trip down Bernie's Slide. X Golf and fanfield.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different?
A very unique factor I think that we have at our group is that every single surgeon here is fellowship trained, meaning everyone has gone through specialty training in their specific area of focus. So if you come to get your knee replaced, or if you come to see me and get your shoulder done, every single person that you come and see has specific advanced training in that field.
You mentioned that your specialty is shoulders. Shoulder issues can be complicated. How do you approach your patients?
Shoulder injuries are incredibly common with either young athletes, or especially as people age, people develop shoulder issues, whether it's rotator cuff issues, arthritis. So we can get a sense of it ahead of time based on what their exam is like, what their MRI is like, what they're doing in therapy. But you're right, there's a wide breadth of surgeries that luckily we have a vast array of treatments for.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk all the time about Bank 5-9 and their mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. They were named the #1 mid-sized employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with my friends at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7 and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University. Affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
It was a huge win for Robert McIntyre. And as sick as I have been at times, Stephen, of the men's professional game, seeing him win and the emotion that came with it. We've talked a little bit today about having his father on the bag, but also being, that was his first win on the PGA Tour. And now all that goes with that. It gets him exempt into the Memorial, into the U.S. Open, and gets you so many things on the PGA Tour. It was hard for him to control his emotions because of his dad being on the bag and what that win meant.
And shout out to the Canadian Open for continuing to be the content king of the PGA Tour, because this was one of the feel-good moments, one of, to your point, Gabe, those reminders of why the PGA Tour is special and can be special is because it allows stories like Robert McIntyre, who really kind of burst onto the scene in the Ryder Cup, unfortunately, for Team USA. He went perfect 5-0 in the Ryder Cup. It's just wild when you think about that. But for him to win his PGA Tour event, his dad on the bag, in that type of fashion, and the celebration and the emotion that we saw from him with CBS after, I think it was a perfect example of why the storytelling and the character arc of the PGA Tour is unmatched to some of those other tours you might hear about.
However, Robert may have done a little damage to some of the things that the PGA Tour is trying to do. We've been told these signature events are huge. This is the best thing. This is the biggest thing. Well, there's a signature event this week, and a pretty big one. Like, when I think of the signature events, there are 3 even bigger than all the other, and I guess I put the players in its own category, but the Memorial, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and the Genesis being 3, the big 3 of these. Well, doesn't sound like Bobby's sticking around and going to Ohio next week. Here is what Robert McIntyre had to say to Amanda Balionis on CBS Sports after he won the Canadian Open yesterday.
So one last question. You've now played yourself into the Memorial, into the U.S. Open, into Travelers. Is Dad hired on the bag for the next 3 big weeks?
No, Dad's on the flight home on Monday, and I think me and my girlfriend might go home on Monday as well and just have a hell of a party back home, because this is incredible. The whole support I've had from Scotland, but mainly my family, my coaches, my girlfriend. I honestly can't believe this.
That's just awesome. Like,
amazing.
So, but I get it. So the question becomes, Stephen, if you won a PGA Tour event, and that meant you were exempt. Again, I mean, you got the U.S. Open and the Travelers right after it, so you got another, 2 big potential paydays with some signature events and a major championship. If you were Robert McIntyre, would you go home and party?
Yeah. And then I'd be right back on the flight to Dublin, Ohio for Memorial. You can do both, right, Gabe?
I don't know. That's a lot of international travel.
I can't. I'm not 22 anymore.
Yeah.
So, he's a young, spry guy who probably can, rebound a little quicker after a couple of days of partying. If I have a couple of drinks, I'm hungover for a week. So for me, it's like, let's go do this one night. Let's celebrate. If we want to take the jet across, the pond and go celebrate with the people, go do it. Get on that same jet and come back and play Memorial and tune yourself up for trying to win your first major now.
He's definitely tuning himself up. Just a different type. That's all he's doing. He's tuning himself up.
I think the emotions of that moment with Dad by his side and the realization of their lifelong goals together. My favorite part of that interview was his dad crying and the tears welling up in his eyes when he says, "I'm just a grass cutter." Like he's not supposed to be there, and he's there because of his son, and that type of pride that he has in being a dad and watching his son accomplish his dreams, and then on the other side, his son thanking the man who helped get him into the game. And you had mentioned earlier, what he does as far as being a greenskeeper or cutting grass on a course in Scotland, and just their bond over the game of golf. Like that was an incredible television. And I think the emotions of both of them in that moment were like, let's go party. And that would be my emotion as well.
Let's go celebrate, because this is a special moment.
Yeah.
So to fly all the way back, look, it's not like he's flying to a different country, man. And I guess maybe with the check he just won, he can afford the private jet.
All right. Yo, he can go from Toronto to Scotland, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not that much different than going from Toronto to, L.A., flight-wise.
Yeah, I'm still...
A couple of time zone changes, but...
But if he's talking about being homesick, I don't think he's flying home for 24 hours. I'm with him. Look, good for you, man.
Has he already been ruled out? Is he already ruled out of Memorial? Or is he going to roll up on Wednesday? So their field was at 73 the last time I checked.
I don't know how that works when you win, because typically... they try to have the field finalized by Friday. Like, you have to commit to the tournaments, and that's why, we know this for years of Tiger Watch, right? Oh, is Tiger going to commit? You got to know by, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, or something like that. And then they have the field finalized. But when you earn your way into the field because of a victory on Sunday, I don't know when he has to let the people organizing the Memorial, I'm in or I'm out. My guess is he would have already done that by now, since we sit here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, the last I'm seeing is that he is still skipping Memorial.
Yeah, exactly, man. Good for him. Because you know what the last thing you want to do, Steven, is be hungover on a 6-hour flight. That's the last thing you want. That's a terrible idea.
Well, let me think about it. If I could be hungover on a flight to go back and, play a professional golf tournament and chase a $4 million purse, I could think of a couple of worse things.
Yeah, but he's got a $4 million. He's got another one coming up in Travelers right after the U.S. Open. He's clearly coming back for the U.S. Open. He'll play in the Travelers after that. Go home. Enjoy this one. I think this is just kind of a weird quirk in the schedule anyway, when you're going signature event, major signature event. I don't like that. It's kind of weird the way they decided to flip the Canadian Open and the Memorial this year, because typically the longest day in golf, so many pros played in the one that's in Ohio, the sectional qualifier for the U.S. Open in Ohio.
Yeah.
Because they would play there on Monday because they were just playing in the Memorial that Sunday. And obviously that's been flipped around now, and the Memorial's now the week before the U.S. Open. That's a lot. That's a lot of golf. That's a lot of emotion to process. Take the Memorial off.
Well, I have a little breaking news for you,
US
courtesy of PGA Tour Communications on Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter. Robert McIntyre has officially withdrawn from Memorial, presented by Workday. Davis Thompson replaces McIntyre in the field. Enjoy that bender, Robert.
It's, again, because he gets to go home, and obviously golf has been so important to his family, I fully support him. I don't think the Memorial is going to necessarily miss him. No offense to Robert McIntyre, but it's always one of the bigger events of the year because of who's hosting it, and it has that cachet and history of being one of the more prestigious tournaments, regular tournaments on tour. I
just want to know what that party's looking like right now for the McIntyres.
You think it's still going strong?
Yeah, it's fun. It's Tuesday night here, so it's in
like
the morning on
morning,
Wednesday. Yeah, I bet they're closing down a pub right now as we speak, Gabe.
He's walking around with the Canadian Open jacket thing that you get for that.
God,
heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Good for you, Bob.
I'll tell you what, the Canadian Open, I think, deserves to get a signature event here. And I hope they do, because...
Just for chugging through the last 3 years?
A as a reward, because they've had to deal with some just breaking news bombs dropping opposite of them. But also, Canada shows up for that thing.
Yeah.
they usually take a hole, I think this year was 13, but they usually take a par 3 on the back and they turn it into a hockey rink theme. And people are packed into that. That looks like it's a lot of fun. It seems like the people of Canada come out and support this event, which, yeah, I think that should be a signature event more than the Travelers should. I understand it's about the money and who wants to pony up what and blah, 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 blah. It all comes down to money in the men's professional game. Shocking.
Yeah.
But it would be a cool event to see all of the best players on the PGA Tour play.
Well, RBC has their heritage already, when
they've
they
got
play at
the
Harbour
signature,
Town,
yeah.
so that's their signature. And
flop it out next year.
We've talked a lot about Heritage being the week after the Masters.
Yeah.
And, maybe that's a way that they can
just take some of that money from Harbour Town and flip it up to Canada.
Yeah, I'm good for it. I love a good Canadian. Good Canadian party.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a really fun event. Whereas, again, the Memorial, I think they should be just rotating those around. Outside of the big three that I had mentioned, the at Riv, the Genesis, Arnold Palmer Invitational, and the Memorial, rotate them around to other events and courses. And I know that was kind of talked about and floated out as an idea. So then that you're still getting some of the biggest players once every 4 years or 3 years, however you wanted to do the rotation, in every stop that you have on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and
Reward the fan base.
And the Canadian Open gets good fields every single year too.
RBC helps because they've partnered with players, so they get people to go up there, and Rory plays in it more often than not, and they get good fields. And this was a good field, there's a good leaderboard coming down the stretch, but to see everybody up there for the Canadian Open I think it would be fun.
Who do you like this weekend at Memorial? Jack's Place. Elevated event, $4 million to the winner.
I'm leaning towards Colin.
Yeah,
But I also really like Colin next week at the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Because Morikawa seems like he's been coming around. And the iron play has been pretty sharp from him. But also, it's hard to pick against Scotty.
Well, I'll tell you, the X-Man, coming off of his major win, has 5 straight top 25s at Memorial. Hovland's the defending champ there. Victor played really well at the PGA. So 2 names to think about as well.
But Victor hasn't played well outside of that PGA. There have been some struggle. Well,
I'm saying the PGA might have gotten him back on track.
Yeah, it could. And he needs to get back on track.
And Patrick Cantlay has won that event in Memorial a couple of times, one courtesy of John Rahm and COVID.
That's still the most outrageous thing. Like, Rahm was winning by 1 million.
Yeah.
And he had to withdraw.
Yeah, that was a shame.
But I'm not picking Patrick Cantlay anytime soon.
No, he's become the villain of the PGA Tour. There are villains in golf. Patrick Cantlay has become, unfortunately, the worst on the PGA Tour.
GolfTheBog.com is the website you should check out. You know how much we love the Bog. It is where Steven and I play 100 holes of golf for the Mac Fund. It's also where the ESPN Milwaukee Open is going to be later this year. Steven and I will be broadcasting live. It is a unique golf course, a unique property, because, again, it's on a bog. Some open holes, some tight holes. It's certainly going to challenge you, and you're certainly going to have fun. So book your tee time today at GolfTheBog.com.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Trade proposal. Christian Watson. Packers receive Justin Jefferson. I think I found a way for us to get Ayuk, Jefferson, and T. Higgins and not have to give up all that much.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. Full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
4, it's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
I wanted to close out the show today by just putting a PSA out there. For anybody who decides to sign up for any sort of tournaments, official tournaments, any sort of qualifier for tournaments, just a PSA, or maybe just pleading with you. If you sign up for one of these events, play the entire event that you signed up for.
Uh-oh, Gabe, what happened?
So I signed up and was playing. I try to do this every year. I try to qualify for the WSGA match play. This year it's up at Lake Arrowhead. And then I try to sign up for the WSGA State Amateur, which this year is at Merrill Hills. So signed up for a qualifier at Brown Deer. Didn't have high expectations because I hadn't been hitting the ball that great. Actually kind of figured some things out over the weekend, started hitting it decent yesterday. Ended up not qualifying, but that's beside the point. So we're off in threesomes. So just playing, threesomes and trying to qualify, 12 get through, 2 alternates, yada, yada, yada. And we get to 9, and we're walking up 9, short par 4 at Brown Deer. And one of my playing partners, one of the other 2 guys I'm playing with, I think I might leave.
What?
What? I mean, he hadn't been playing very well. I think he was 7 over through 8 at that point. You know, you're not going to qualify, but still, like, you sign up for that.
Not 17 over through 8.
Yeah. I mean, you still enjoy the rest of the day. I'm assuming I took the day off of work yesterday, and it's a round of golf. I paid $100 for the qualifier. I'm getting my 18 holes in, damn it.
And your hot dog.
So I was going to try to convince him, like, after the hole, because, like, when he said that, it kind of caught me off guard. But I was too busy looking for my tee shot, which I had pulled a little right and some trees over there. And, so I was more focused on, okay, how do I make a par out of this? And eventually we did. That's, again, beside the point. So I was going to try to convince him, except we get to the green, and he putts his, I don't know if it was a par putt or a bogey putt or whatever, missed it, left it a couple inches short, and then he just scoops it.
Scooped it. In a tournament.
Yeah, like just scooped it. I'm like, well, can't convince him to stick around anymore because
you just withdrew
now you're
yourself.
Done. Yeah, now you're done. So, and again, it's a little thing, but now that puts me and the other player in a little bit of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be, it's a competitive round. You're putting everything out. So it's a longer round to begin with. And now playing as a twosome, like it's just going to get longer for us.
And I know how much you just love slow play.
Oh,
Mr.
love
Weitzel.
it. I love waiting around. Again, that's something I still need to get better at is being patient throughout those rounds and throughout those moments where the round gets long.
You just need a better caddy like me.
But I've 100%. If you were on the bag, Steven, we would have cleaned it up
We
yesterday.
probably had a chipping contest. Who knows?
But if you sign up for one of these events and you don't play well, it doesn't matter. There's only one person who cares, and that's you. And I thought of honestly withdrawing at one point in a tournament that I played in. So the Arnold Walker Championship is the Milwaukee County Championship. It's played at Brown Deer every year. It's a 2-day event. And a couple of years ago, I played terribly. Like I think I was DFL. I think I was last after the first round. I'm like, man, I played so bad yesterday. I don't even know if I want to go out there. And then I just kind of snapped out of it. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Mm-hmm. Just go out and play golf. Who cares?
You get to play golf.
Because you get to play golf. And additionally, if I withdrew, if I just didn't show up for my tee time on day 2, I'm putting whoever I was playing with in a tough spot.
Well, and you're forever the guy that quit.
100%. That's the other thing. Don't be a quitter.
Did this person just like walk to their car, or did they just acknowledge that they were like done, or did they just beeline right to the car and they're out?
Yeah, so I was keeping,
because 9 is kind of close to the parking.
9
right
is
next
close
to the pro shop.
So he scooped it, and I'm like, okay, I guess that means he's done. And he made a joke because if you play at a WSGA event, you still get your paper scorecard. It doesn't really matter because the official score is through the app. So I was the one tasked with scoring on the app, and he made some joke of what I should write down his score to be. I just left it blank because I'm not writing down a score in a tournament on a hole you just scooped it on.
Yeah, which would potentially impact your future handicap as well.
Yeah, so he just made that joke and was like, yeah, I'm done, guys. We'll see you later. And then, just walk to the parking lot.
Sure.
And me and my partner on the next tee were like, okay, I guess that was weird.
What would his score be? Would he even have? Would he have to enter a score, like a 9-hole score?
No, because he didn't play 9 holes. He didn't finish 9 holes. And if you play in an event like that, like my score from yesterday was automatically posted because the WSGA will do that. But yeah, I have no idea what they do in that situation. And so that was the other thing. I couldn't finalize the score. I get to the end, and there's 2 WSGA volunteers. I think they have their intern sitting there, two great ladies, and they're trying to help me finalize because typically you have to sign on your phone, and that's what your signature is. Because I've gone through these enough. I'm like, I don't see where I can get a signature. And they're like, oh, well, because this one's blank on 9. Like, what do you want us to? I'm like, you can't put anything there because he didn't finish the hole. He just walked off. They went, oh.
That's new for us.
So, okay, we can finalize it and do it all on our end.
That wasn't in our training.
Yeah, we can do it all on the back end. You don't have to worry about it. Don't change anything. All right, thanks a lot. But again, it's just nobody cares but you. And by not showing up or walking off, that just kind of puts a negative view on if you run into those people again.
Well, clearly, if you're the type of person that's going to walk off and not finish the 9th hole, you don't care about how it impacts other people. Right?
Yeah.
So, of course, it had a ripple down effect. It would have a ripple down effect on me if I was playing and I had to wait longer on the holes, and you can't get that out of your head. Like, what was that all about?
It was, and I guess the funny part of it was, as we were walking down the first hole, after we had hit our opening tee shots, he was like, yeah, I just kind of sign up for these, just kind of have a little bit of fun and do that. Well, if you're walking off, you're not signing up for it for fun. That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't sound fun.
That seems like, and look, we've all been there where we're probably a little more whiny than we wanted to be.
Definitely.
And you regret it, afterwards when you're on the golf course. Hand in the air, I've been that guy before. Ask Mike Meisen if you want to hear the worst of my worst. Next time you see Meisen, he'll tell you. He'll tell you exactly where it was. But you come to regret it, and you just feel so dumb afterwards. Just if you sign up for one of these things, just finish it. Who cares?
To your point, no one.
It's exactly my point. Exactly my point. Check out X Golf at American Family Field. It's where you can combine two things that I love, baseball and golf. Buy your game tickets and your sim time all on the Brewers single game ticket site. And if you make a hole-in-one this year at American Family Field, X Golf at American Family Field, during a regular round of golf, you and someone else get to go down Bernie's Slide. That's right, Bernie's Slide for an ace. Check it out more. X Golf and famfield.com. Looking forward to next week, Steven. U.S. Open Preview Week.
Woo! I got my pick lock and loaded.
Can't wait to hear your review of Pinehurst because you've played there before. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the U.S. Open all next week right here on the tee.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side.